Today we're going to take a look at the top 6 Last Chance Qualifier bases from last weekend, built by WBB Builders. As always, the links for these bases will be down in the description below if you want to give them a try. With that, let's jump into the replays. And here we go with the first base. We've got NYU coming in with the Royal Champion Charge, moving up towards the top side of the base through the Expo, and then she'll make her way up towards that Fire Spitter. Actually, she does go back to the right towards the multi-archer tower, and then she'll probably continue to the right from there unless he redirects her with another invis. But for now, she's just going to continue out to the right. He's going to play into it, drops in the next invis, makes the spell tower invisible. We got the scatter shot going down as well eventually, and oh, she's on the RC. That's why it's taking her so long. There we go. He's going to make the scatter shot invisible. She moves on, scatter goes down, builder hut goes down, the RC making it all the way through this bottom area of the base. He pops her ability, gonna make her go a little bit faster now, try to get through the multi-inferno tower. Down it goes, and then next up is going to be the monolith. The value for the Royal Champion Charge so far is looking great. She moves on from the monolith down to the crusher mortar, going to be able to get that out of the way. One more invis and a recall still left in the bag. She's going to go ahead and get recalled here, pulls her back out of there. Great value. Let's see how he does now with the Root Riders. We got the Root Riders moving in from the left side of the base. Going to be pushing in towards the Ricochet Cannon, and they got great pathing towards the Town Hall, but we do have some Teslas popping up on the left side, at least one for now. There may be more over there. We do have the Troop Launcher coming in from behind as well. Town Hall shots starting to come in. He's going to overgrowth in the core of the base, push everything through the multi-inferno tower. Down goes the Fire Spitter as well. Got the Barbarian King and the Queen on the top side of the base. That's going to help with the funneling and the pathing here. Try to push everything back down through that Town Hall as that overgrowth will wear off here shortly. In the meantime, these Ice Golems on defense, freezing things up, slowing things down. It's actually not a bad thing for the attacker. It's holding things in place and giving that overgrowth time to go away. And there it is, as the troops are still right there. And that's thanks in part to the Ice Golem timing there. So the Town Hall does go down. Now we got the double Ricochet Cannon. Troops are trying to push their way through that. The King's going down on the far right side of the base, so no more King support over there. Still plenty of Root Riders moving through, plenty of troops in general still pushing their way through the base. But it looks like the roots on the left side in towards the core are starting to thin out. And then we got a tough back end to get through here. We got the Defending King. We got the Gear Tower. There's some rocket balloons coming in from the right side of the base. We still have a couple of Teslas on the back end as well, plus that Giga Bomb. I mean, it's getting pretty close here, but NYU is starting to struggle just a little bit to get through everything that's left. We do have the Queen's ability, and that giant, especially on the back end of the base, is going to be huge. But let's see if he can get through everything that's left. I mean, as far as defense goes, there's basically nothing left. However, the time on the clock is getting low. It is ticking down, and it's looking like he is going to have a bit of a time fail here as the clock winds down, and there's still lots of buildings to get through. The storage takes a bit of extra time to get through. Only 10 seconds left. This one's going to be a defense. Let's move on to the next base. And here we have base number 2. We've got Mawi coming in trying to take this one down. Also with the Spirit Walk into Root Riders. We got the first invis on the bottom side of the base as the Royal Champion takes down the Ricochet Cannon, moving on to the Inferno Tower. And then she'll push over towards the Fire Spitter. But first, she's going to make her way over to the Wizard Tower. So this Wizard Tower taking a little bit of time off the clock for the Royal Champion, stalling her just a bit. But there's the next invis moving on to the Fire Spitter. That Fox actually took a bunch of damage there, so the Fox isn't going to be up for a whole lot longer. Takes even more damage from the Expo, and the Giant Bomb's going to finish her off. So down goes the Fox. The RC pops her ability. She's going to make her way into the core of the base. She does hit the Tornado Trap. She's going to hit more bombs here, and he's going to go ahead and pull the recall. So pulls the Royal Champion back out. And now we got the Root Riders making their way in from the bottom left side of the base. The Archer Queen over towards the corner, and then we'll see the Barbarian King coming in a little bit higher up. So he'll come in around the 12 o'clock area to finish up the funnel. And there we go. The King's in. He'll wrap his way around 12 o'clock. The Root Riders making their way into the base. And we'll see if he's able to get these troops through the Town Hall as the overgrowth wears off. I think they might actually push past the Town Hall by the time the overgrowth does wear off. But luckily, he does have the Archer Queen hanging out down here to work on the Clan Castle troops. So the Queen will get rid of these Ice Golems, and then she's going to be able to finish off that Town Hall. And he did pop the Warden's ability. It actually protected the Queen for a little bit as well. She's onto the Town Hall compartment, but it does look like the Root Riders are starting to thin out a fair bit on the top side of the base. Crusher Mortar's popping off. He did use his last invis there. Looks like the Root Riders are pretty much done for at this point, which in a Root Rider attack obviously is not ideal, and we still have quite a few heavy defenses to get through. We still have the Monolith, which will go down here shortly. We also have the Defending King. We've got the Gear Tower, the Scatter Shot Even the defending queen is still alive, and she's going to be a little bit of a headache for his queen down here on the back end of the base. But everything is thinning out. We got a Yeti there. We got the archer queen. The giant's about to get taken down by the prince, and that's going to be a defense. Let's move on to base number 3. And now taking a look at base number 3, it's going to be Mr. Mawi again. Poor guy can't catch a break from the WBB bases. We got the Royal Champion pushing in from the left side of the base, making her way through the expo into that scattershot compartment. She will go through the multi-archer tower first. Next invis is down. Gonna drop another invis just to make sure she goes to the scattershot. And there we go. She'll move on to the scattershot, get that taken care of. Drops another invis for the RC, and she'll move in towards this Inferno tower, but he's gonna go with the recall. It was just a short, quick Royal Champion charge this time around. Now we got the Root Riders moving in from the left side of the base. Monolith getting some shots in. We do have the Ice Golem and Valkyrie on the bottom side of the base trying to make sure this funnel gets set. There we go. Able to get that out of the way. Troop launchers in. Full send right down the middle. The Town Hall getting shots in. Does drop in the Overgrowth to cover the Town Hall up, so no more of those shots will be coming in as the troops make their way in. Everything going to wrap around this right side of the base, and then hopefully once they get close to that Town Hall, that'll be when the Overgrowth wears off. It won't be too much longer now. Troops still trying to push their way through. We do have the King and the Queen on the far right side of the base. Now the Overgrowth wears off. The troops can start making their way in, get this Town Hall taken down, secure that 2-star, and then get that damage off of the troops as well. Equally important here. We got the Root Riders splitting wide left. They're going all the way over to the defending queen. Meanwhile, everything else is spread out across the right side of the base. The King's ability is going off. The King is going to be going down here shortly, and he does have the Phoenix, so he will come back for just a little bit here. That second Overgrowth on the very back end of the base. We still have the Queen's ability. However, all those Root Riders kind of diverted on their own and went over by themselves, and they got taken out by the defending queen on that left side of the base. So they weren't over here to support the heroes, and vice versa. And because of that, this one is going to be falling short. The insane pathing on this base, and it's going to be a very nice defense. Let's move on to base number 4. Moving on up to base number 4, we've got Kaz coming in also with the Spirit Walk into Root Riders. Going to be making his way into that Monolith. Also, if you guys want some more amazing WBB defenses for yourself, whether it's for regular wars, Legends League, CWL, be sure to check out either the WBB Discord, where we have lots of great deals, or our Patreon, where we have even more amazing deals for you guys. With that, let's get back to the attack here. We got the Yeti on the far right side of the base trying to set this funnel over here. The Yeti only able to get a couple of buildings. It should be enough for a funnel, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, we do have that log launcher from the top side of the base. Going to send the logs across and try to get some of these walls opened up, try to get some of these defenses taken down, more importantly. And it's making great pathing in, moving in, taking down the ricochet cannon as well. Great value from the log launcher. I was able to get the fire spitter and the ricochet cannon, plus a few other smaller buildings in the meantime. Now we have Yetis coming out of there. Barbarian King to the far right side of the base, trying to take out some of these exterior buildings, making sure the pathing is set as well as possible. Town Hall is going to be going down. Pops the Warden's ability, going to keep these troops protected, get them healed back up. We do also have the healers in the mix here, doing their best to heal things up. Actually, they're just chilling on the Apprentice Warden. They're not even trying to heal the roots right now, but finally they do manage to move up, but that sweeper pushes them back. And okay, they do scoot forward with that rage, so that works out nicely, but the damage that they're taking, they're still getting absolutely destroyed. And just like that, the Root Riders are gone from the core of the base, so no more Root Rider support here. And we do have the air defense picking off some healers, at least getting some damage onto him. The question is, does he have enough to get through the rest of this base? If I can talk. I mean, we're watching it in a defensive replay for this kind of video, so I think we all know the answer, but let's see how it manages to fall a bit short here. He's just left with the King's ability and the Queen's ability. The Queen's ability is incredibly valuable, especially with that giant. It just does so much damage, but only 20 seconds left on the clock. Even if he had enough power to get through the rest of this, which I don't think he does, with the Prince, the King, the 2 scatter shots, 1 scatter shot, and the gear tower, he doesn't have enough time. 7 seconds on the clock, and that back end storage is going to save the defense, if nothing else. Nice try to Kaz. Let's move on to the next one. And here we go with base number 5. Unfortunately, it's Mr. Mawi again. He just kept on picking on the WBB bases, I guess. And by the way, absolutely no disrespect to this man. He is an incredibly great attacker. Been watching him in the esports scene for years. Amazing guy. And it just goes to show how good these WBB bases have been performing, especially on a stage like this. But we do have that Royal Champion charge from that top right side of the base, making her way in towards this monolith, that BK clearing out a bunch of stuff on that right side with the angry Jelly, and then of course his ability there, getting a lot of things cleared out of the way. Jelly finishing off that that bomb tower over there on the bottom side. Another invis for the Royal Champion. 3 more of those for her. We'll see how much more value he's able to get. It's going to pop her ability, send her in a bit faster. We do have the CC coming out. These ice golems could be a bit of a headache, especially with that furnace there, but she's stuck on the king, which is also kind of a headache of its own. She moves on, finally going for the multi-inferno tower, and then he's going to go with the recall. Really wasn't able to get a whole lot out of that core with the Royal Champion, so that's going to make things a little bit more difficult. The Root Riders from the top side of the base, and here we go. We got the healers on them. We got the Queen to the outside. It's going to help set this funnel. The Valkyries in here for support for the Root Riders. And then we'll send that Royal Champion back in with the mix, and there we go. Everybody is in and on their way. The defending King's still alive on the right side. He's got a Headhunter in there that's at least going to damage it. Probably not take it out all the way, but as long as it's not distracting the troops, it should be fine. Shouldn't even be a hassle at all. Everything's making its way in. The Queen's still doing a nice job. She needs to get through that bomb tower, though, but he does have the overgrowth in the core of the base, so that's going to help out and keep a lot of this damage off of these troops as they make their way through. Ice Golem from the left side, that's going to freeze up some of these big defenses on that 9 o'clock corner. And there we go, the Ice Golem freezing things up. We still have the troop launcher throwing these barrels in. The overgrowth should be wearing off here shortly, which will be perfect timing because a bunch of these troops are right there and ready to take the town hall down. And there we go. Like I said, beautiful timing with the overgrowth. The troops are right on top of the town hall. They're going to be able to take that down without too much of a hassle, although it is taking a bit longer than I expected. The multi-inferno tower as well absolutely zaps those healers, and now he has no more healing for these troops. Everything finally gets the town hall down, but everything in the core is pretty much gone. The town hall, the double ricochet cannon, the scatter shot, so much damage, and the army is evaporated. He's got the Queen's ability on the bottom side of the base, but even the Queen with the clones and the giant are going to have a little bit of a hard time with double ricochet cannon, and that's even after they go through an expo and a scatter shot to get there. And then not to mention only 20 seconds left on the clock. I don't even think the clock's going to be an issue in this one. Like I said, that double ricochet cannon is just going to do so much damage. If he had enough power to get to it, he would need a lot more power to get through it. Nice try yet again to Mawi. Another great defense. Let's move on to the final base. And for our final replay, we got GG of NGJC coming in. Royal Champion from the bottom side of the base, and of course it's going to be Root Riders yet again. Incredibly common attack strategy in hard mode at this level of the game. Next invis coming in, she gets the multi-archer tower down, going to get through the wizard tower, then move in towards the top side. 6 more invis to use, so going to be a little bit of a longer Royal Champion charge. We'll see how much value she's able to pick up, but there we go, getting through the expo. Did use the overgrowth on the right side of the base as well to make sure the RC doesn't go that way, but she goes there now. Okay, so he just wanted to delay that a little bit, I suppose. She's going to be able to get the town hall down. Beautiful charge so far from this Royal Champion. I like the way that it's shaping up. He's going to drop the poison to get rid of that furnace a little bit faster. Doesn't want to have to deal with these fire mites. All right, moving through the multi-inferno tower. She'll get rid of that. And he's got the recall that he's probably going to drop afterwards, and there we go. Pulls her out of there, but man, what a charge for that Royal Champion. The poison's even able to get rid of one of these ice golems after the electro boots managed to get some damage onto it, so that worked out really nicely. Now he's only got 1 more ice golem to deal with on the defensive CC, and that's it. You got the King and Queen to the top left side of the base, trying to set that funnel, set that edge, make sure the troops stay inside of the base as much as possible, but the King decides he wants to be a part of the party. He's going to join up with everything else. Going to get a little distracted by that ice golem, and then he's going to follow these Root Riders right on in, or where's he going? Oh, there's a storage down there. Okay, King's just doing whatever he wants. Let's see where the Root Riders want to go. They're making great pathing up towards the top side, heading in towards these big defenses. We got 2 ricochet cannons. We got the gear tower, the fire spitter, lots of heavy hitting stuff on that top side. And as you can see, the heavy hitting stuff is doing its job. These troops are fizzling out very quickly. We do have the ice golem freeze on the ricochet cannon and the gear tower combo, but can anything take one of those out? No, they are going to stay alive and continue absolutely hammering these troops with damage. The Queen now trying to get in there. She does get the gear tower out of the way. 1 more ricochet cannon left alive. There's a druid in the mix, but this one is looking like it's going to be a low percentage attack here as the Queen continues to push in, pops her ability. The King still walking the outside of the base. He does not have the Phoenix, so once he goes down, he's down. Now it's time for the monolith to shine, popping off, taking it down. The giant. The King still spawning his snakes. He's also got a ricochet cannon over there. He's trying to get through. Pops his ability. Spiky ball bouncing around. The queen is dead. The king is down, and that is going to be a very nice defense. Be sure to check out the WBB socials on screen. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.